Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Thinking Crypto YouTube channel. My name is Tony. On this channel, we cover the news, facts, and sentiments that are happening in this new asset class that is cryptocurrencies. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also smash the like button. Let's take a look at the market here. Not much going on. We continue to see a bit of sideways movement. We had a little bit of a pullback from a 24-hour perspective, but we're looking for Bitcoin to break through $12,000 again. Bitcoin dominance is pretty high at this point, currently at close to 70%. So let's see what happens this weekend. But you know, it's really a patience game, as I always say, and I say this to make sure you have perspective that we still have some ways to go, but we are certainly on the upward trend, the upward trajectory. So it's a patience game, and the market is maturing. The governments are on board, putting out their regulations. Big money is launching their services, slowly accumulating, of course. And Bitcoin, right now sitting at $11,882, Ethereum at $212, XRP at 30 cents. So let's see how things play out over the weekend, even into next week. Hopefully we can break through 12,000 for Bitcoin and hold that support level. And, once Bitcoin starts cooling down a bit, the altcoins pump behind it. So, we will see how things play out. Now, we have some very big XRP news here coming directly from the horse's mouth. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. Many of you know I hold XRP. It is my number one in my portfolio as far as percentage-wise. Bitcoin is my second. I am very bullish on Bitcoin, and Ethereum is my third. I'm bullish on Ethereum. I also diversify into other cryptos, but my top three, as you can see here, XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Now, I've always said this, and I've stated many times, that XRP is a long-term hold, because what Ripple is trying to do here is build a really large use case here, and solving a real-world problem, and that requires getting financial institutions, banks, and so on and so forth to change over to the new format, the new disruptive technology, right? And that doesn't happen overnight. Also, part of what Ripple's doing, because they're working with regulators and they're working with real companies in many different industries, they have to abide by many of the rules, and they have to wait on regulatory clarity and so on and so forth. Many of you know this, but for those who are new, I want to make sure I just reiterate some of these terms and these items, because it's important to understand the facts on what's being built and what's happening. You really have to put your business thinking cap on for what Ripple is doing with XRP. But we see slowly but surely the adoption of XRP is taking place, and we just heard that MoneyGram went live with xRapid, even though they've been trialing xRapid for over a year, and we know Ripple made an investment in MoneyGram. But it just takes time, guys, and there's many other smaller financial institutions who have went live with xRapid. So Brad Garlinghouse was interviewed here by Yahoo Finance, and shout out to XRP Research Center, who called out some of the main takeaways. The first is, it'll start to ramp up MoneyGram xRapid volume in Q4, but we'll see more consequential volumes in Q1, talking about Q1 2020. Because as I always talk to you guys about, these companies are going to crawl before they walk and walk before they run. They're going to start off with small corridors, then expand, and we're going to see more volume being moved via xRapid, which leverages XRP. Brad Garlinghouse expects over 1 billion of xRapid volume by the end of 2020. So we are talking, guys, over a year and a half from now, right? Or just about a year and a half. And that's why I keep saying patience, and XRP is a long-term hold. The traction, the momentum is being built, but it can't happen overnight. And I know many folks are wondering, with all these great news, why isn't it pumping? Because, and this is my opinion and my theory, because it is not a normal cryptocurrency that is in the market where it's very wild west and unregulated, where all of a sudden this coin gets on Coinbase and it pumps. But part of that is being done by some insider trading. We've seen it with Coinbase, and even a lot of whales trying to manipulate things. So I hope you understand that, and Ripple is trying their best to avoid that, because it's their reputation. They can't have that type of pump and dump type scenario going on when they're trying to work with actual companies. So some folks may not like that, and that's okay. You know, no one's forcing you to invest in XRP. I'm personally giving you my outlook on in this real disruptive technology is solving a real world problem. And very much like your Amazons and Googles in the early 90s, you know, it took years before they built traction and got going and then disrupted the market and became household names. And then obviously we know what happened after that. They dominated the market, right? And their stock price was ridiculous. And we're going to see a similar type of trajectory for Ripple, because it's a real company. They're building real things here. So I hope you guys get that. And once again, I'm not trashing other cryptos because I hold other cryptos, but I'm approaching this logically and factually. Now, what else did Brad say? Ripple would sign 100 contracts in 2019 with 20% likely to involve xRapid. As I've always stated, not every bank will use xRapid. Some will use their X-Current product, their XVIA. But with all the integration and the multi-hop system they have set up, banks can easily hop in and hop out for the respective xRapid transactions. So great things are ahead, and we're hearing it directly from the CEO, Brad Garlinghouse. Some other things, banks that are 2 years ago, banks that 2 years ago told me, hey, we love your technology. We're thrilled to be working with you, but we're not going to use crypto. I said, okay, great. This is Brad talking now. Some of those banks, same banks, are now coming back and saying, hey, let's talk about that because we see the value. Like I said, guys, it can't happen overnight. And a lot of these banks and institutions, these guys are stuck in their ways because it's been the status quo with Swift for years, right? We're talking years. And now the new disruptive technology is here. But because we have first mover advantages of MoneyGram and even the Fed with FedNow are setting the precedence, right? That, hey, faster payments is here. Get on board or you're going to lose out. And of course, we know that if you're going to move money internationally, you need that bridge asset of XRP to really have the settlement in real time, not just a note, not just a promissory note. And also, excuse me, guys, the ability to free up the dormant capital that's sitting in Nostro Vostro accounts. So Ripple is really solving that real world problem here. So he said Ripple is working on multiple potential investments and acquisitions in the wake of a $30 million investment in the money transfer business MoneyGram. Brad said, we're in a strong position. Our business is growing strongly. We have a strong balance sheet, and I intend to press our advantage. And I think this move they made with MoneyGram is huge because it's going to allow them to backdoor a lot of things that they couldn't do because of regulatory issues in the United States. And MoneyGram has the connections, it has its networks, it's one of the largest money transmitters, of course. So big things are ahead, guys, and I hope you see what's happening and what's being built, and you're hearing directly from Brad. And this young market, you know, is not reacting as we would like it to, because all of us want to see the price go up. I want to see the price of XRP go up. I want to make money, just like you. But you have to be realistic, and you have to understand what's going on. Now, if these things were not happening, then you can say, well, wait a minute, nothing's happening, I'm out, right? I would be out too. But we are seeing the progress, we are seeing the incremental growth, and big things are ahead. Let's see here. He said the MoneyGram deal is one of the first scale use cases of a digital asset in production. Huge. This is a big deal. If I were betting now, a year from now, MoneyGram deal will have more consequential impact on crypto markets than the Libra white paper. That's a pretty bold statement there. And I am certainly in agreement, because we are talking about the movement of money globally, multiple corridors, multiple currencies, the freeing up of Nostro Vostro dormant capital that's sitting around. Guys, it's going to be a game-changing thing when this, you know, hits mainstream fully, right? Right now, it's just a small snippet, right? And that's where Ripple is working, and this acquisition with MoneyGram was a big move for them. So I hope you guys get it. And you know, sometimes you have to step out of the crypto bubble, so to speak, to really grasp what's happening here. and look at it from a real world standpoint, because the bridging of the gap between the real world and crypto is happening, and Ripple is pushing that right now. Bitcoin is doing it on its own with different ways. Like, there's a lot of Bitcoin financial products that are happening because of its store of value nature, ETFs, futures, blah, blah, blah. You guys all know about that. And Ripple's specifically laser focused on how can we move money faster. And that's the future, guys. Money's going to be moved the same way information is, very fast. Send a text, right, to someone in across the globe. Why can't you send them money that fast, right? So that is what is ahead, and I can't stress this point enough. Patience. And not only is Ripple solving one of the biggest problems and biggest use cases in the world, but they are also doing many different things to build additional use cases, such as micropayments on the web. Many of you have seen my interview with Omni, the CEO of Omni, and what they're doing with the Ripple XRP funding they received. They're integrating XRP into their marketplace. They just became a XRP ledger validator, and there's SB Projects, which is Scooter Braun, the manager for the, like, Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, the musicians. They're gonna look to monetize content online with XRP. There's Coil. So there's so many things being built, guys, and don't miss the micropayments aspect of this. That's gonna help monetize the web a bit differently. So you have on one end of the spectrum, one of the largest, if not the largest, use case, and on the other end, you have these micropayments and also these XRP in different ecosystems and marketplaces. So big things are ahead, and I hope you guys see what is happening here. I like to share the facts with you, and I'm certainly bullish on XRP, as you guys can see, and I'm going to be trying to interview the folks at Omni to talk about the validator setup, as well as interview the CEO of CoinField. They just went to set up a validator as well, because I want you to hear from the people who are actually investing and building and using XRP as they're building, right? Because these are not like some random crypto people or whatever it may be. These are real companies, and they have employees, they have their own thing going on in their business, right? So if they're willing to build with XRP and the folks at Ripple, what do you think is ahead, right? Once again, it's stepping out of the bubble of cryptos and just seeing, whoa, okay, real businesses doing real business stuff here, and XRP is included. Now, finally here, Binance is considering support for 30 tokens for US customers. So this is Binance US. As you know, they are doing this via a subsidiary, if I'm not mistaken. And they said in their blog post today, Binance is considering support for 30 digital assets on the Binance US marketplace, its crypto exchange platform accessible to US-based customers. Major tokens under consideration include Bitcoin, EOS, Ether, Cardano, Cosmos, Basic Attention Token, Tether, VeChain. XRP's on this list. Ethereum Classic, Ethereum, IOTA. So good amount of tokens, which looks great. And let's see what they do. Hopefully they can get this going. They don't have a date per se here, but I'm hoping they can launch it soon, because this is going to bring more competition to the market, and competition is healthy. So looking good here, guys. And Binance being one of the largest crypto exchange on the world, very well known. So let's see how things play out for them. They obviously have regulatory issues going on, and they moved to Malta. So let's see. I mean, I know they're doing it through like a subsidiary here, but I don't know if the U.S. government's going to push back. We'll see what happens. But nevertheless, the investing, the building, the mergers, the acquisitions, all these things are just, the infrastructure is being built, and it's pretty amazing to see. So guys, what do you think about Brad's statements here? Brad, you guys can of course read the full interview. I read through it myself. They of course highlight XRP and it's how it works and all of that, and this is on Yahoo Finance. This is great exposure, and this is just the beginning. More to come, guys. So would love to hear what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links in the description. If you'd like to support the channel, check out my Patreon group. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you all later.